His first round of betting will be to the left of the big blind, in this case, player number 4. Blinds are raised throughout the game to keep the action going.
Jason checks him out, lays him down. Rolling around now. Devilfish coming right back into action. And he's found a big ace, Roy.
Big card in a short-handed game.
The bet is 6,000, 4,000 raised. Gary Jones looking intent from the button. What's he found? Oh, he's found a big hand.
That's a raising hand, not a calling hand. Right on cue, Jason.
You don't have to tell Gary Jones, oh, look at this. Dubovic's got the same thing. Now, Gary Jones has re-raised 15,000 more, so it's a total of 21,000 right now. And
Now,
Dumovic facing 20,000 to call. What are his options here,
his options are to go all in. That's the only option. You don't call because the probability is you won't hit an ace or a king. My
He
God.
came all the way over from Wisconsin and says, I've got nothing invested, I guess. I'm not chancing it now.
Well, did you see that twitch there? That could be a tell. That makes no sense to me. You know, ace king, what hand do you want to pick up so many chips?
Devil lays him down, and Gary Jones wins a pot, which he was only entitled to half of, with a strong re-raise of Devilfish Ulliott. And Dumovic, is he feeling pushed around, Roy?
Well, I concede an ace king is a moving hand, not a calling hand. But what hand do you want to come over the top and pick up so many chips? Now, if he sticks in, now Jonesy's got a massive decision because he knows he's taking on a big hand, and any pair, he's marginal outsider. He would have got the whole lot if he'd have correctly moved in his ace-king there.
Gary Jones coming over the top of Devilfish Ulliott there. And Devilfish folded that ace-9 very fast. He doesn't think Gary Jones is messing with him, does he?
I think he's got some respect for Gary Jones, you know. Gary essentially is a cash game player. Cash game players don't make as many moves as tournament players.
Limp in there from Devilfish Ulliott, 2,000 called. He's playing a lot of hands here, Roy. As is Sam Britton calling from the small blind. We are three-way unless Jason Gray wants to have a pop at it, which he does.
Raise 11 more, 13 total.
11,000 more with a 7-9. What's he up to, Roy?
Well, what's Devilfish up to if he calls this? We're going to have two players with plenty of chips in the pot and neither have got a genuine hand.
Devilfish considering his options. It's 11,000 to call, and Jason Gray has made a huge steal attempt.
Pass.
Dave passing up ship, and it is now on Sam Britton. And this is the first time he's had Jason Gray locked up 6 ways to Sunday tonight.
Absolutely. Tank it in, boy. This is not a calling hand.
Britton will peek at the flop now.
If an ace comes, he won't get any more money.
And be first to speak when it comes down. And look at that. Jason Gray's outflopped him.
And Devilfish, if he had been in the pot, would have had an open-ended straight draw with 2 overcards.
Wyoming man to speak. He can't seem to buy a break here. Finally had the best hand and has missed the flop. And he checks it.
Check.
This is the third time these two have been together in a pot, and it's the third time that Sam Britton's going to come out second best.
Jason Gray peered over the table as if to say how much you got and stuck in a whole load of goo. Stack a red. That'll cover Sam Britton's chips. And Britton right now has to make a decision for his entire stack on only the 13th hand of his night.
Well, a decision with an ace high was not a decision, and what he's doing is bleeding his chips away.
So Britton on the ropes. Jason Gray on fire. And the Australian seems to have the intricacies of No Limit Hold'em well figured out, Roy.
Some players probably think I'm pretty tight, but at the right time, certainly not afraid to put all the chips in. So
Gray finding the going very easy, and he will have to put in the small blind this round, but it'll be Christian Bauer speaking first. Bauer looks like he spent a lot of time at a poker table. Long arms laid over the table, sunglasses spinning around the players. He'll check over those cards professionally, and Nothing at all.
Pass.
The choir boy now, pale-faced Gary Jones, who spends most of his time in casinos,
Pass.
raised with the ace-10,
Pass.
5,000 straight. Gray from the small blind. He's got plenty of chips. Oh, and a better hand.
20,000.
See, that's the correct way to play an ace with a big kicker.
Pass.
And look how quick Gary Jones folds up an ace-10.
The raise was to 20,000. That was about 15,000 more. And as you said, ace-10, and Gary Jones threw it away without a second thought. I mean, they haven't seen a lot of Jason Gray's cards yet, Roy, but they're still believing that he's got something.
Well, he's not put a foot wrong, has he?
I mean, what are these players thinking of Jason Gray right now? He's had pocket nines 2 times, ace-jack, ace-queen, and he showed none of them.
They have no idea where he's coming from, yet we know how well he's playing.
So Jason Gray playing the cards perfection and the chip leader, but we are still 6 here, early days yet in this tournament heat. And the choir boy Gary Jones just got raised out of the last pot. Doesn't seem to have affected him any. He's laughing his head off.
Well, he's still got 120,000 in chips. He's not panicking at all, and how quickly threw away the losing hand there was very impressive.
Devilfish found something there, blackjack in the small blind, and he's fired out on Christian Bauer's big blind, blind on blind here. The raise is 4,000.
That is not an option. That goes one way to the shredder.
Pass.
Feel free to join the party anytime you like.
No problem.
Just tossed him in.
And the fish is keen to do some advertising there. Look, boys, it's genuine for a change.
15 hands deep into this tournament, and Roy the Boy Brindley, Jason Gray has sprinted ahead here.
He's impressing me a great deal, but he has had some very big hands. 15 hands we've played. He's had a pair of nines twice. Now, the odds of any pairs are 16 to 1 shot, so there's some indication of how his luck's going. He's had a couple of tasty aces as well, but he's played the hands very well, and he is impressing me a great deal.
Not scared to stick all his chips into the center, is he?
No limit hold'em, that's what you need to do.
So dealer changes and the blinds have been raised. Second level now, 2,000 and 4,000 are the forced bets, which puts 6,000 in the pot before the players see their cards. And Dumovic, with a couple of snowmen there, 2 8s, has flat called the bet. 4,000. Britton is agreeable. He's got a pocket pair as well. Oh, we could see a nice little pot here, Roy. And Devilfish has stuck a raise in from the button
Conversation over
with the
here, Dave.
Queen 9. Worst hand we've seen so far.
Well, I don't think he's going to get this one through at all. It's a pair of snowmen for Adam, yeah? I mean, come on, he's flat. Oh, my word. This is an action hand, isn't it? The big slick. This
Trying to get
is
how
going.
much the raise is right now, but Christian Bauer looking at all that money around the table, and he may be thinking that pot is big enough to win right now. Gary
Rarely-
Jones with a very playable hand in the big blind.
Rarely do you see so many playable hands. Rarely.
You commented earlier on about
Now, you don't call an ace-king. You shift the lot into the middle. 2 ways of winning. Pick up the lot or take on another hand. If you take on a pair, you're just short of even money to win anyway. Shove it in, boy.
Bauer considering his options, but fiddling with that big stack of red. And he's going to fold. Roy Brindley, he's laid down an ace-king.
Twice now.
The
I get
raise
that.
from the Devilfish has scared him off, as well as Gary Jones. And now Dumovic, who's got a pretty good hand with the 2 8s. Looks like he's thinking about the same thing.
Well, he flat called for a reason, surely to goodness. Did he not flat call a pair of 8? Well, I'll give in. I mean, they may as well just give him the tournament now.
More and I'm all in.
The raise sturdy to scare everybody but Christian Bauer.
good pass, Dave.
But Sam Britton, excuse me, and he has stuck all his chips in. It's a re-raise, but probably
32,000 in total.
not enough.
Well, Britain's bitten the Devilfish here. He's marginal favourite with this pair of crabs. Marginal favourite. The pair stands up over the 2 overcards.
Sam Britton all in.
And Jesse, what are the other boys thinking that passed a pair of 8s and an ace-king right now? How stupid was I?
So the Devilfish with a chance to either take Sam Britton out of this game or